Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, we got a trailer.
Forget what you knew about Blade Runner 19.
Done. Vangelis soundtrack.
Out.
Mm-hmm.
Is he dead?
Vangelis?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Anyway, the world is back. Pyramids.
Atari logo.
Giant
What's Atari
holograms.
doing in the future? Because
It's an alternate future, obviously, you dingus.
well, it's interesting because is it an alternate future? Because there seems to be some sort of floating news hologram, and it's got something about the Soviet Union on it.
Right.
And I'm like, is that maybe it's just something that is called Soviet something something, or is this a universe in which the Soviet Union still exists?
Potentially.
Maybe.
I got the audiobook of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep because I've never read it.
Mm-hmm.
And the first 10 minutes is just him arguing with his wife, and they're both debating on whether to get a stimulant of emotion so they can argue better or calm down.
Right. Yes.
And I'm like, I don't know about this. So I'm gonna push on. But my understanding is the book is very different from the movie. Like there's no ambiguity in terms of like Deckard is he is a guy.
And
Like,
there's
it's
some
very
more
clear.
actual electric sheep in it. Vangelis is still alive. I've just checked.
Okay, good. Pyramids, flying cars, giant holograms. How good does it look?
Well, I was going to say, so yeah, and first of all, what I was going to get to initially is
Yeah.
Atari doesn't really exist anymore.
No.
I mean, it does. The brand exists.
Great
But now it's
t-shirts.
just like, it's t-shirts and it's like online gambling.
Maybe do you think there's not time between now and 2049 for Atari
To have a resurgence,
yeah,
maybe,
to
yeah.
be back in a big
Yeah.
way?
Yeah, maybe.
So 3 decades later, Deckard has been missing. You see
Yes.
a number scratched into a surface that says 6/10/21, which is 2 years, which is the year that the book is set, but it's set 2 years after the movie.
Yes.
And the presumption is that the replicant woman, who is it from the first one? I can't remember her name.
No.
Yep.
Don't at us.
She's dead. So
Yes.
she had like all replicants,
For your lifespan.
she had a cap
And
on
she had
her-
an expiry
on her
date,
life.
right.
And maybe, and again,
Even though it was very heavily implied in the first one that she didn't have an expiry date.
yeah, I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. what to say.
Surprise!
Maybe she just fell under, maybe fridge fell on her. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe fridge fell in it.
Yeah. So there you go. So he's been hiding in what looks like Vegas.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So just kind of some kind of
Or
wasteland.
possibly Vangelis' house.
Right.
There's a lot of Greek-themed statues.
So Jared Leto,
He's back.
He's
in
back.
a big way.
Yeah,
we
so-
thought we were rid of him after Suicide
after he
Squad.
embarrassed himself,
I'm an idea.
he didn't embarrass himself in the movie, and this isn't his fault, but it was all the social media build up
Yeah.
of all the crazy stuff that he was doing, and then when the movie came out, people were like, well, "What a big bunch of bullshit for nothing."
Correct.
Which isn't his fault that they cut him out of it necessarily, but he
You
kind
know
of
what?
went
I
all
bet
out.
it is. Anyway, he's some sort of...
He's the new replicant master.
Yeah.
He's building slaves. He's talking about.
Yeah, he says, all great societies are built on slave labor of some sort. And then we
Sure.
see a replicant being born out of a
That's
tube.
That's probably true when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jared Leto can't lie. Did you know that?
He's got a thing in his neck,
Hmm.
like a little bloody. I don't know. Is he blind, or do you think those are some kind of
I think he's getting sweet data from
He's got
that.
sweet data.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's looking at some
Do you
sweet
think
content.
do you think he greets them all? They all slip out of a slippery bag.
Maybe this one's special.
Okay.
Was that a name actor or was that
Not that I
just some
could
rando?
say. It's
Okay.
hard to tell when someone's covered in goop. I'm presuming he's the corporation evil
Yeah,
guy.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Do you think the story's going to be?
No, I think he's the main protagonist. I reckon he's the hero.
Do you think the story's going to?
Yes.
The story's going to be the same as the first one. It's going to be this in terms of there are people whose jobs it are to hunt down replicants.
Yes.
Do you think that's just going to be? It's going to be that again. It's going to be like a soft reboot, or do you think it's going to be a continuation where maybe there was a replicant?
I think it's
human
going to be a
war?
continuation. And there's a piece of dialogue in the trailer that's something like, "We finally found the key to the next stage," or something like that.
Slippery bags.
Slippery bags. And it seems like the trailer seems to suggest that Ryan Gosling's character has some sort of secret.
Right.
And it's around him. But I think maybe that's a fake out. I think maybe the person with the secret or this next step of evolution is Deckard.
Oh, who is a replicant?
I think maybe he is a here's my theory is that he is a replicant.
Yeah.
And everybody thought that he died because he had a 6-year expiration date like all the rest of them.
Yeah.
But he's been hiding out and he's still alive.
Yeah.
And they're like, now that we've used the baby goose, to track him down, now we know that he's survived and he's got some sort of key in his
Right.
replicant DNA to keep him alive.
Okay.
I mean, I've been wrong before.
I can't think of any time except for the time you said Beauty and the Beast wouldn't make $1 billion.
I said that, and I also said Batman v Superman was going to be good, but we all thought that. It's more innocent days, you know what I mean?
And I guess it also depends on what version of the movie is it following. I'm
Yeah.
presuming the final cut, you know, I don't know if it's called that definitive, this is it. This is
Right.
all the answers you need. And that's the one where he picks up the bloody the unicorn.
And then he
has-
unfolds the origami unicorn, and it says, "You are definitely a replicant."
So Harrison Ford's run, you saw it.
Yes.
He's no Tom Cruise, is he?
No.
In the running department, but he's he's in mid
Sprightly
70s
for
or
his
whatever.
age.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
have you seen Hollywood Homicide?
No.
There's a street chase, foot chase in that, and I remember watching the time going, "Oh, that's not much, is it?"
Hey, that's not mine.
Though it's better than Taken 2 or 3, where Liam Neeson has to climb a fence.
Yes.
And it's like 15 takes, different angles,
Right.
just to get him over the fence. Yeah, you couldn't have just filmed a stuntman from behind. It's he's not a fast man. He's a big man, but not a fast man. So you think when the pages are torn out of that book, do you think that's the history of Deckard or somebody who's not the Goose?
Yes.
So do you think there's not going to be any implication, like the Goose doesn't look himself in the mirror and be like, "Who am I? Who is the Goose?"
I think we talked about this last week, that my actual hope is that in this one,
Yeah.
we open the door to the question of whether the Goose is a replicant, and then we have to wait another 30 years.
Oh, that's
for the
right. We
next one.
did. We did talk about that. Yeah.
Mm.
So, do you think there's been any? So, in between, you think they've just kind of taken replicants and they've beaten them down, and they're mostly slaves at this point? Maybe there was an uprising in a war, and maybe there's that kind of wasteland.
I had not thought about speculating as to what happened to the replicants.
Right.
I think they're just around doing still whatever replicants do.
But something must have happened in between. Surely some kind of catalyst for this version of the world has become.
Seems about the same though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess that's like Star Wars 7. It's about the same,
Yeah, I
isn't
think
it?
it's just. I think this is just kind of a stagnant world. Like
Okay.
the holograms are better, but that's basically it.
Holograms are better. So hologram technology is increased threefold, let's say.
At least threefold. Yes.
The original Blade Runner's a lot of kind of like corridors and street level shots with just steam and pipes and
Yep.
food vendors. This feels very open,
Mm.
which is more of a kind of a Denny Villeneuve
I wonder
kind of
what.
situation.
I wonder what kind of food is going to be on those street vendor carts. You know what I mean?
Who's going to be a replicant? You think Deckard's going to be a replicant?
Yes.
You think there's going to be an implication that the Goose is a replicant?
Realistically, no.
What about the girl that was with the Goose? The girl with the Goose?
Definitely a replicant.
Definitely a replicant.
Well, like,
agreed.
isn't that the kick off here? That
Yeah.
this is some sort of
The same,
romance-
Rachel. The
There
same
we
way
go,
that
yeah.
Rachel was a replicant.
Yes, that's
yeah.
right. So I feel in this isn't this implying some sort of Romeo and Juliet kind of situation
Yeah.
where it's the warring factions, one of which is replicants and one is human, and the Goose is like, ooh, replicant lady.
Here's a question for you though. This
Yes.
is one for the ages, and I put this out there on Twitter. Do you think it
Yes.
will be better than the first?
Yes,
Why do you say that?
it looks a lot better.
Yes, but is that it? Like, is it the director? Do you want to see a Ridley? Would you rather have seen the Ridley Scott sequel to this? Because I know I
No.
wouldn't. Coming off the back of Alien Covenant.
Haven't seen it yet, but
tell
I
you that
agree
much.
with you. No, I think this is going to be good. I think Harrison Ford looks like he's committed to this,
I wonder whether they're going to give him 10 minutes though.
and then he's done.
Yeah,
Ugh.
and then it's the Goose's story.
Well, it doesn't appear. You're right. It doesn't appear that he is in any action sequences or anything.
There's
so-
the bit where the
running.
replicant busts through the wall.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
and there's another bit where it looks like he's in the snow. But I feel like there is a chance here that he's not in it much, which is okay. You can
Uh-huh.
move
Yep.
the story forward, and
Yeah.
he, and Indiana Han Solo's gone.
Yes.
Yeah. So, it's
Yeah, maybe.
possible, yeah.
Yeah.
So you think it'll be better,
I think it'll
maybe?
be better, yeah.
Well, I think judging off like The Arrival and what other movies has he done? Prisoners. Apparently Sicario is really good.
Sakari is really good.
Yeah, I got to watch that. I think there's every chance that this could be at least equal
Yeah.
because he hasn't put a foot wrong yet.
Maybe this will be it. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, well then he's doing Dune. So if he's gonna fuck one up, it'll probably be Dune.
Let's hope it's Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Great. Just to make sure, isvangelistillalive.com is available. So if anybody would like to buy that,
Hey, this was a YouTube video. If you're still here, then that's hi. Hello, still.
hi, I'm here too.
Mason's still here.
Yeah.
Why don't
this
you?
is a YouTube exclusive.
Yes, it is.
If you're one of those chumps who only listens via iTunes, you won't be hearing this.
You better believe
You're
it.
hearing it now. It's the YouTube elite.
Why don't you give us a like if you want and a comment? Tell us what whatever we think this
Yeah.
video was. I don't know what the clip was, but tell us what you think.
Mm.
Okay, bye.
Bye.